If the church truly believes that government is off limits for helping the broken, then let's be honest and let's be consistent. Let's lay down the tax exemptions and the parsonage perks. Return the FEMA checks, refuse police protection, give up the zoning privileges, cancel the school partnerships, drop the scholarships, stop cashing in on every legal advantage that Rome offers us. Because you can't preach government shouldn't help the poor and then turn around and let government help you. If it's off limits for compassion, it's off limits for comfort. But you and I both know that's not what's happening. No, the tool isn't the problem. The heart is. We object only when justice threatens privilege, only when compassion costs us something, only when the poor are moved from the margins to the center of God's concern. It's selfishness and it's self-righteousness. Don't believe me? Then explain why I never hear the church complain when our money's used to wage wars, bomb cities, or turn entire nations into graveyards. Or why I barely hear a whisper when billions disappear into the shadows to hide children on private islands. And I certainly don't hear the outrage when the people's house glitters in gold, or when billions, our billions, are shipped to Argentina while the poor curl up on sidewalks a stone's throw away. And the same Christians who call Halloween demonic, I haven't seen a single sermon calling Trump a demon worshiper for hosting a Halloween party with half-naked ladies dancing in martini glasses, whose theme was literally a novel that celebrates the division of class. Funny how spiritual discernment only activates when it targets the powerless, the marginalized, or whoever threatens our politics. The silence isn't neutrality, it's selective morality. It's allegiance, not to Christ, but to empire. But Scripture warns, woe to those who make unjust laws to deprive the poor of their rights and withhold justice from the oppressed. Scripture cries out, speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. And God commands, is this not the fast that I chose? To share your bread with the hungry, to loose the chains of injustice. Christ reminds us that whatever we did for the least, we did for Him. And Paul tells us the same thing that the prophets cried out for generations. Authorities exist for justice. God will judge every nation that twists it. God has always raised His people into the halls of power, not to dominate, but to serve the oppressed. Joseph used Egypt's entire government to save a starving world. Daniel, Esther, Nehemiah, they all used imperial systems to bring justice and relief. The church in Acts literally worked hand in hand with the Roman welfare system to feed widows and orphans. And God raised all of them up for that reason. So tell me, church, why do we fight the very justice God commands? Why do we, like the Pharisees, strain out a gnat to swallow a camel? Why do we bless charity but curse justice? Why do we fight for comfort and fear compassion when Jesus warns us that anyone who seeks to save his life will lose it? Why do we call ourselves exiles yet cling to every privilege Rome hands us? Maybe the issue isn't political. Maybe the issue is spiritual. Maybe the church doesn't reject government, but the church rejects compassion when compassion comes with a cost. Justice is not optional. Compassion is not negotiable. Following Jesus means loving the poor. Maybe the exile we're in isn't because we refuse power, but because we refuse God's heart for the poor. Beloved, God's justice is not against us. It is for us. His correction is mercy. His conviction is invitation. So, if these words sting, good. It means the Spirit is still softening us. But conviction is never the end. It is the beginning. If we continue to turn away from His voice, ignore the truth when it pricks our heart, the door will shut. We will grow numb. We will callous over. We will mistake comfort for God's blessing and apathy for maturity. So let us turn back to Jesus, who welcomes sinners, who confronts empire. Let's be the church whose love is costly, whose compassion is bold, and whose justice looks like the kingdom. Let's reorient our hearts toward the lowly, toward justice, toward the one who became poor for us. This is our moment to show a watching world that Jesus still lives and that He still has a people who look like Him. God bless you. Oh, I pray this speaks to you.